Hey guys, what's up? Since Valentine's Day is this weekend, I decided to watch and review the two Peanuts Valentine's Day specials. The first one is Be My Valentine, Charlie Brown from the 1970s. In this one, Charlie Brown is waiting by the mailbox anxiously every day for someone to send him a Valentine card, but every day when he checks it, there's nothing there. And then there's subplots with the other characters. There's one where there's a scene where Lucy's talking to Schroeder while he's playing the piano, and she's talking about his how Valentine's Day is supposedly the first holiday that had greeting cards, and she wants Schroeder to send her a card, but Schroeder doesn't like her that way. And then there's a Lucy, I mean not Lucy, Sally, Charlie Brown's sister, liking Linus, and he doesn't like her back either. And Linus has a crush on his teacher, like Miss Opperman, and she's like, and his friends tell him, dude, you know that's not a good idea to be in love with your teacher. And he said, oh, I'm not in love with her. I just doing something nice for her. But he obviously does have a crush on her, and he goes to the store, buys her this giant box of chocolates in a heart-shaped box, and Sally sees him leave the store with it, and she thinks that he's bought it for her, and so she gives him a Valentine, and she gives it to him in school, and he's like, "Oh, well, thank you." And then she sits in the desk behind him, so she's like holds out her hands, waiting for him to give her that big box of chocolates, but he ge- he walks away with it, and she's like, "Wait, he forgot to give it to me." And then he, when the teacher's in the parking lot fixing to go home, he goes and follows her out there to give it to her, but he finds out she has a boyfriend, and it upsets him. And I'm glad they didn't do it that do it like with the teacher liking Linus, because that would have been weird. And then there's some funny moments with Snoopy. Like there's one thing where earlier when Sally is trying to make a Valentine for Linus, Snoopy, Ch- Charlie Brown gives it to Snoopy to do something with it, and Snoopy like hits Woodstock in the face with the Valentine, and that gets stuck to his nose. And there's a scene at the end where Woodstock gets even by doing the same thing with a Valentine card to Snoopy's nose. And then there's a funny scene where Snoopy he's trying to make money off of Valentine's Day by staging this like puppet romantic puppet show. Then Lucy comes over to buy a ticket, and when Snoopy gets some tickets out of the ticket slot, that like a ribbon of tickets, and like he gets tangled up in them. And then when she goes to the snack bar that Snoopy built, Snoopy like tries to make popcorn, and but he keeps messing with that too. And then when they get to the puppet show, he's sitting on top of the doghouse with puppet on each hand, like acting out the play, and Charlie Brown's narrating. And the special effects he uses for the show, it gets like mud or water or whatever. They get all over Lucy, and she gets mad, and she doesn't want to watch the rest of the show. I love Snoopy. He's my favorite character in Peanuts. And And there's at the end, when Linus is heartbroken about the teacher, he throws all these chocolates over a bridge. He said, "This one is for this one is for that," and then like the chocolates are caught by Snoopy and Woodstock. They open their mouth and catch the chocolates in their mouth and eat them. And then the day after Valentine's Day, Charlie Brown is upset that none of his friends at school gave him a card when they were exchanging cards. So one of his friends does a group of his friends come over, and one of them gives him a Valentine card. And Schroeder, he makes a speech about how thoughtless they were yesterday. And you said, you're so thoughtless, you're going to give him a used Valentine, because she said she took all her name off of it and put his name on there. And Charlie Brown said, no, it's okay, I want it. But she was thoughtless just to give him a used one, because she could have like bought him a new Valentine, or even made him one for that matter. That's what I do when I give Valentines to girls that I'm friends with that are single. I always like, if I run out of regular ones that I buy at the store, if I buy a pack and I run out of some of them and I don't have enough for everyone, I just make homemade ones on paper. That's it for now. All right, y'all. This is a good special. I give it two thumbs up. Thank you and God bless you. Amen. Goodbye.